right, we're here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good
So
morning. Good
let's
morning. It's
Yeah.
another Saturday, another game of football, right?
another day. The Netherlands USA game is the one coming up first, or so. We're about 29 minutes from kickoff here. What are you guys feeling? We're all
Do we start with
Americans now.
predictions? let's start with unbiased predictions.
Right. What is your
Unbiased
heart
prediction.
telling you versus your head?
Exactly. Heart, I'm thinking US 2-1. Head, I'm
Okay.
thinking US 2-1.
Okay.
So your head,
Yeah.
your heart
So
is
you're
your head.
going US.
Yes, US, both ways.
Is it your niche?
Yeah, both
Okay.
biased and unbiased. Godwin, what do you think? Godwin,
Sorry,
what's
did
your
you call
prediction?
me?
Yeah.
Oh man, I try to avoid predictions, but I think I'll stick to my bracket. I think it's going to be a Netherlands win.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I really don't know what the scoreline could look like, but I think it could go up as 3-2 um, in favor of the Netherlands. I am picking experience over will, and I'm
Okay.
picking experience over quality. I think they both have quality. I think we should understand that the U.S. national team have players that
Uh-huh.
also play in Europe. So this is not an MLS team, right? This is more an European versus European player. So the US team is young, is the second youngest team in the tournament, and they've got quality. The quality might not be as much as the Netherlands team that have played European championships. But I'll still give it to the Netherlands. We did hear that there's a flu in the camp of the Netherlands. I don't think that will be a factor because as of yesterday, Van Gaal refused to disclose who are those guys that are sick. And
Okay.
at the end of the day, he did say that he expected 26 players to be available. So whether that's really true, whether that's a tactical move against the US national team, I don't know. We've seen Arteta done that before during the league, right? When he refused to disclose who is in, who is out. So sometimes just to prevent showing his cards. So I would still think that a strong team would be presented against the US national team. Um, I think either team should take their chances. It might be a game that might be very few chances. One thing I'm worried about is US showed very well. They showed up very well against the English team, which I think has more quality than the Netherlands. So that is a confidence that they will be riding on. But at the end of the day, I'm sticking with my bracket. I'm sticking with my head based on experience, and I'll give it to the Netherlands.
Quick question for you in regards to US England. Did US show up in that game or did England not show up?
That's a great question I asked myself, and I think the England team did not show up.
Okay.
You
So
think
if the
so?
Netherlands
I
show up,
think the
maybe
US
something will
showed
be
up in that
different.
game. I think the
Yeah, but
US
there
showed
is a
up in that
second
game.
part to it. Do you think that the team showed up as they should or showed up as they could?
I don't think so.
Ayo, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the US showed up in that game, at least against England, because I mean, towards the end, right, Southgate tried to change things. And I think we all said, right, that the one change or the final change that was left to maybe unlock that US defense was bringing on Foden, right? But he tried to make changes to go for the win, right? When he brought up Henderson, Henderson was pushed up, so Henderson wasn't in his usual deep line position. He brought on the likes of Grealish and Rashford to try and change things. But I think the US actually stood toe to toe.
Okay.
Alex Lalas made a comment yesterday that I know we were all, laughing about, that the US has the best midfield in the World Cup. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but I would say I've been impressed with those three guys. Adams does a lot of dirty work that we maybe don't notice as much, but I've been impressed. I mean, I've seen McKennie at Juventus, so I know his quality.
Yeah.
But Musa as well, I've been impressed with him. His ability to go box to box, technically sound. He's very ball aware, tactically aware of where he should be as well. And they have a really good midfield that I think could stand up to the Netherlands midfield. With my prediction, with my prediction though, I think I will still go Netherlands 2-1 or maybe even 3-1. And I say that because one, Gakpo has been on form, scoring, and then we saw Depay come back in the last game, in the first round. And if Depay is available, which he starts today, I think Depay could be a difference maker for whenever he plays for Netherlands. I personally don't like Netherlands a lot. I mean, I don't like Depay a lot as a player, but when I see him play for the Netherlands, he's a difference maker to that team. And so that's, I think, with the experience the Netherlands has, they will come out on top.
Just to that, I do away. You understand? But watching the hearts they have, the zeal to fight, I think it could take them far enough. It may not take quarter, probably not semis. I don't know. Maybe it could take them to semis, but I think this round of 16, the first match, in round of 16, I think they still have that heart. They still have that zeal. It's still too early to bunt. That's why I'm giving them an edge. Now, there's another prediction I have. It could go into penalties. Part of me hopes it does, so I could watch more football, but But yeah, I think I can definitely go with I'm sticking to my 2 prediction.
You get the worth of your money, right? And I don't know how much you think.
Do you think the US still comes out if it goes to penalties?
Yes, I'm still giving it to the US.
Okay. If it goes to penalties, I'm definitely giving it to Netherlands.
I know, because of experience.
Why did you say that?
It's easy to say that. But hey, we'll see.
What did you say?
We have a few more minutes.
Why are you sticking with the Netherlands if it goes to penalty?
So we've seen Matt Turner at Arsenal, right? He's impressed us more in this World Cup than when we've seen him play for Arsenal. But I personally don't think he's as strong on penalties. And I think Noppert would maybe come out on top in penalties. That's
what if they do? What if the US coach pulls something that former Chelsea coach used to pull? Brings in a sub who is good at penalties.
Do they? Who is on the bench? I don't know the keepers on the bench.
I'm just saying, you never know.
Yeah, so you never. Yeah,
I can tell you who the keeper is on the bench. Who the keeper on the bench is, but give me 1 minute. US Van Gaal, Edson. Okay, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah. So what you said earlier, about what you said earlier about the Netherlands lineup. So I read up on the same interview as well. And what he said was it wasn't. So he got asked whether he could have a full team or whether he'd have a full team available. And what he said was to have a full team or to not be able to field the team would mean that 15 of those players are out, right? Mm-hmm. And he said it's not 15. And looking at the lineup, it's their same starting lineup that has started most of the group games, right? So
well, the Leeds is missing. So the Leeds is on the bench.
The Leeds didn't start the last game. The League didn't start the last game. Yes, I think he started the first game, and I think he was dropped after that. So it has been Jordan Timber. It has been Jordan Timber starting on the right side of.
Well, Bergwijn. So Bergwijn is sitting for Depay. Depay is coming in today, and Bergwijn is not starting. So that's a change.
In the last game, the last game in the group stage.
Let's even go back. Look at their bench. The bench is still loaded.
So quick question, Ayo.
It doesn't look like anything is affecting them.
Yeah, this guy has been on the bench for a while. I think it was impressive last season in Europe. Noah Lang. What do you think about that Dutch player?
Yeah, he's very good. I think he's in the same bracket of the likes of Xavi Simons and what's his name, Gakpo that we've been seeing, right?
Gakpo, yeah.
I think those three are probably the future of the Dutch team. I don't think we've seen Noah Lang in the World Cup.
No, we haven't.
No. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see him today.
He's preferring Berghaus to come on as a sub.
Okay,
if I'm remembering correctly.
But as loaded as that bench is, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game.
Yeah. So, quick question for you both. How do you think these teams will play? Are you expecting a US team to come out smoking like they did against England? Confidence, not afraid. willing to push forward, willing to play a very attacking football. Do you expect Netherlands to do the same, or do you expect Netherlands to slow down the game, sit back, and rely on the experienced players and mature players? What are you expecting?
Expectation based like a prediction or what we hope for? Because what I hope for is I hope they go all out, both parties, give us something like Switzerland and Serbia gave us yesterday. But I think both of them are going to like take some time to feel each other out. So the game is probably going to start off slow. But at some point, the tempo is going to pick up.
So I would say Netherlands, right? We know what Louis van Gaal's style is. He's going to go for dominating possession. So I'm expecting Netherlands to have majority of the possession. I think the US will also have their chances. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jesus Ferreira. I've heard people talk about him, but I haven't seen him play personally. So I'm looking forward to see what difference he makes to the team today. They've tried a couple of different players up front, and I think we called it out in the World Cup preview, right? That's where I saw the US lacking is they don't have a recognized striker who is a proper classic finisher, someone who can hold the ball they can play through. And so let's see if Ferreira is that guy, but I think that's where they might struggle today as well, because we've seen it. If Pulisic isn't coming up with something, he provided the assist for Weah in the first game, and he scored the game in the goal in their last game, right? So if Ferreira is able to deliver today, that might maybe give the US some chances, because we know the US will have chances. It's a matter of will they be able to put those chances away. The midfield is strong, like I mentioned. The defense has been stable. They're able to get out or get a lot of attacks with Anthony Robinson. He's very good going forward, and he combines well with Pulisic. Let's see whether it will be enough for them, though.
So based on the lineup,
I think we have someone in the lobby. Quick one. I think we have someone in the lobby. If you can let the person in, please.
Okay. Yep.
Now, based on the lineup, it looks like Ferreira is going to play on the right and Weah up front. But you are thinking they're going to flip? You think Ferreira is going to be?
I think Ferreira is going to be up front. I know in the last game, when we talked at halftime of the England game, one of the changes I suggested was Weah maybe going up top. But I think for stability, they will keep Weah on the right hand. Ferreira is the striker that I've heard about. And I believe Ferreira will be up front, despite what the lineup says.
I look forward to seeing.
Yeah, so I haven't seen much of Ferreira. I don't know what he's going to bring today. Sargent is injured. Looking at the lineup, right? I would have preferred them to stick with Aji Wright. I think it might be more dynamic and a little bit physical. It might be too slow for them, though. But again, I haven't seen Ferreira. Maybe the manager felt like Ferreira would give them a better option than Aji Wright, and Aji Wright is sitting right now. So we'll see what Ferreira would offer. One thing, though, that worries me about the US national team is that I am not sure they are forcing Pulisic to play this game. If he's forced to play this game, and in the first 30, 35 minutes, he doesn't, he's not able to provide that moment that they're looking for, then that brings a challenge, right? Then do they have to take out Pulisic and bring in maybe Reina? I don't know. But or Aronson that also have pace that can come in on the side. I don't know. But they have to be forced to make a change if Pulisic is not delivering because of fitness, possibly. I don't know. So we're not really sure until we start seeing the game and see maybe if Pulisic is really fit to be a game changer or not. And that will change the three frontmen.
Aside from Pulisic, who was injured? There was someone else that was injured.
Josh Sargent.
And of course he's not playing.
Yeah, he had a stretch here. So
he's not even on the bench.
Okay. I guess we'll see how they do.
What I saw, it was an extension of his knee ligaments. I don't think we'll see him again this week. That's if the US don't go out today anyways.
Welcome.
Hadright, though, you talked about Hadright, Bjorn. So Hadright, I don't remember which game it was. Maybe it was against England, or I forget who they played in the first game.
I think he played his game. I think the second game was against what's it called?
It was England.
Was England? Yeah, Wales was the first game.
So I think it was against England. He did well, but then I saw him again against Iran, and he just looked completely clueless until Josh Sargent came on. And so I was wondering. I guess that's part of the problems they're having up front is they don't have someone who is good enough, consistently enough.
You need someone that can impose himself on that defense.
Yeah.
And my worry is that is Ferreira that guy against Van Dijk? I know you guys have been talking on our WhatsApp group that Van Dijk is not the Van Dijk we used to know, and I'm fine with that argument, right? Give me a lighter version of Van Dijk. I think it's still good enough for this tournament, right? So the question is, who is that striker that can impose himself against Van Dijk? I need to see that guy.
Just to throw something in real quick. Welcome, Benga. Benga, hope you can hear us. And
can you hear us live and clear? Okay, good.
Okay. Now, I was going to talk about Van Dijk. I disagree that Van Dijk is a lighter version of Van Dijk right now. Yes, he's having Liverpool. Liverpool is not having. I think we've talked about this before. Liverpool is not having the best season. You can't just tell me Van Dijk is not having the best season. The whole team is not having the best season right now. The whole team of Liverpool. Now, Van Dijk in Netherlands, I don't think just half a season is not being in his best form doesn't mean it won't bring the best for Netherlands. That's number one. And I have to go back to your question, the statement of would Ferreira bring that man-to-man challenge that Van Dijk needs or that US needs to oppose Van Dijk? We shall see. We don't know, but if Van Dijk is Van Dijk, he's gonna have to work, which is where I think switching roles with Weah may help, because just to help confuse the Netherlands defense a little bit. But yeah, that's something we should look forward to. Benga,
awesome.
Over to you. What do you have for us in regards to the US?
Netherlands USA. What's your prediction?
Yeah, let's start with your prediction. I think we've all gone around with our prediction. So give us your prediction. Who is winning? What scoreline are you thinking of?
0 Netherlands.
US Netherlands.
I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. I don't think either of the side has enough firepower to so many goals. I think the US team will put, but I just think I don't see them have anyone breaking down the Netherlands defense. And I think the point, Charles, I think irrespective of what's going on in Liverpool, I think it's hard to just overrunning anyhow. So yeah, so that'll be my thought.
Okay.
Did you give us
a quick question before? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, in the Benga, you give a scoreline prediction.
No, I did. I gave a scoreline prediction. I said 1-0 Netherlands.
Okay, good.
What's the right?
Go ahead.
I said, yeah.
Yeah, quick question before you switch topics, right? Because I know you wanted to talk about the round of 16.
Yeah.
What is going on with Tyre Malaysia? This guy has been fantastic before the break for Manchester United. He's been sitting on the bench. What is going on? Shouldn't we be seeing the firepower coming from Malaysia? Maybe like a day like this, but he's sitting on the bench.
Who is taking his
position? What change would you make if you're a Van Gaal? Go ahead, guys.
I mean, that's the aspect of what team how would you use him with Van Dijk? But when Malaysia started for Manchester United, when they came in for sure, I said it. A lot of people argued with me. This guy is just about I want to prove something. I didn't think it was okay. I take that back. I was going to say I didn't think it was that good. I take that back. But I don't think he's as good as people are thinking. I don't think he's as good as we expect him to be. He came onto bench, Luke Shaw, gave it his all. It was like, oh yes, I'm going to keep this shit. I'm going to keep the starting position. And that was all. It was all about getting that position at that point in time. After a while, he got tired. It wore off, which is why, like you said, we're not seeing him right now. So, would we see him? We shall see. We'll see how it goes. But I think Lucia is back to starting for Man U, if I'm not mistaken. So
yes,
maybe we won't see him in the World Cup. Maybe we'll see him, but we'll see how he performs when the season returns for the EPL.
Yeah. So personally, right, Louis van Gaal prefers the experience. I don't think we're going to see Malaysia coming in for blind at all. Maybe in a game where they're up like 4-0 or something, and he just wants him to come and stretch some legs. But Malaysia is good, right? You took that comment back, Charles, but he's raw and still inexperienced, especially at this level. So I don't see him coming in.
Right, I think he needs time. He needs time.
Is it because Van Gaal has been playing a back three? Is that why Malaysia doesn't fit into the thing? Because if he's playing a back four, do you see an for
I
him.
actually think he'll be better as a. I think he'll be better as a wing back.
Yeah.
I
So
actually
I mean,
think it has nothing to do with.
yeah, Binga.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with formation. I think it's, to Aya's point, it's preference, right? I see at this stage doesn't want to gamble with, a player without experience.
Yeah.
The only time that will make him bring, if everything is going south and he's just throwing everything at the the kitchen and he's just looking for options that he has on the bench. It's just purely preference. I don't think it has to do with, what preference of the coach who feels like, what, I don't want to experiment with and on stage. And that's my thought.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's use the last 9 minutes before the game starts to look at the other games. Argentina, Australia.
Oh
We
wow!
just giving predictions.
Predictions.
So
Australia,
what
what
has
is it?
been a
Everybody?
surprise package for me. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an upset there.
There've been
Because-
too many surprise packages in this World Cup.
Yeah.
So you want us to go
Not
down with
necessarily though. Not necessarily though, because if you think about it, right? Yes, maybe we didn't expect Japan and South Korea to go through, but I wouldn't say we're exactly surprised.
Oh, I am.
Australia. Oh, you are? Okay.
Oh yes.
I mean, we've seen Japan and South Korea in the past few years, right? So
yeah,
it's
but
not
not
like
to
they haven't
not
been
to
at this level.
win their groups though. Winning, if you qualify as second, I understand, but winning your group or just dominating the group, it says something. Even Morocco included. Yeah, Morocco, they've been one of the best in Africa for some time, or top on the list. But winning the group was something I don't think anyone called. Especially for Japan. Japan really did surprise me. So yeah, we've seen a couple of surprises. Do I think Argentina is going to surprise us? I mean, the other way around. Australia is going to surprise Argentina. It's going to be difficult. I'll give that game 3-1 in favor of Argentina.
Yeah, I know you're expecting Argentina to win the World Cup, but I'm
That's a biased prediction.
I don't want them to. Let's quickly correct that. I want US or England, but I'm predicting Argentina because I'm being realistic.
Really?
So your heart says US or England
Charles,
to
That
win.
wasn't what you said when
your
the
head-
tournament started.
Wait, you
We have
guys.
this
Did
on
you just
tape.
say US England?
Oh my God.
Charles, we
Guys.
had this on tape. Come on.
Guys, wait. Before you crucify me.
What are you
Go ahead,
saying now?
Charles.
We talked about heart over head, right? My heart says
Oh, God.
US or England.
Okay.
US because I live in the US, England because
Oh,
that's where my EPL team is, Chelsea. But my head, being realistic, says this is Messi's last World Cup. This is Ronaldo's last World Cup. They may even rig it to become an Argentina-Portugal final for either of them to win it. Because,
Snails,
like I
nobody's
said,
Hold on, Beto.
Hold on. Argentina-Portugal will be the most watched sporting event in the history of sports if it happens. So that's what I'm saying. It's possible. Someone's gonna push for it.
It's possible.
Now, I'm not even predicting Argentina Portugal. Whether that happens or not, I'm predicting Argentina to win the World Cup. Just because it's Messi's last World Cup. Just to prove it that he really is the best. So 3-1 Argentina, Messi brace. Moving on.
Benga, Beto, do you see any surprises in that game, or are you expecting Argentina to come?
Make a prediction first.
So I don't know, honestly. There's been too many surprise perspective to put my money on one person versus the other, right? That's my position. Like I don't know. Like who's gonna make it to the last two? I'm not gonna be surprised if any random team makes it. For instance, I couldn't for my life imagine Australia making it out of their group, but they did.
Yep.
Yeah, that was surprising for me as well.
Japan, after the second game, I'm like, okay, right? Because look at what they did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of things that I'm, and here's my opinion, going by Charles's Heart versus Edison. This is an underdogs World Cup. I hear the sentiment around Ronaldo or Brazil being great. I think this is an underdogs World Cup, just based on what we've I've seen. So I won't be surprised if any random team makes it to the final.
Argentina is an underdog.
Huh? What?
Sorry, come again?
Is it?
Can we call that part of? Can we call that part of the recording?
In recent years, who has been winning this thing? Even European countries. France,
oh my God! Does
Spain,
that make
Germany.
them underdogs? Listen,
I think
what an underdog is. What is an underdog?
In my opinion,
Charles,
that
what
is
is an underdog?
symptomatic. That is symptomatic of the problem that I've
Germany
seen
is
with
an
Argentina.
Okay, it's like you calling Germany an
The
underdog.
fact that
Germany won
Argentina,
it, how
with
many
all
World
their
Cups ago?
talents, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying. With
so
all the talent
Germany
that
is an
Argentina
underdog.
have,
That's not what I said.
You just talked about Messi being the best player in the world and the place for a team that we are calling an underdog.
They have one player. You know.
We have Lisandro Martinez. We have Julian Alvarez. We have Di Maria.
Okay.
We have Di Maria. Di Maria and Messi has played. Man, I've watched those guys for more than a decade. You calling them underdog?
I'm just trying to be controversial. Let's go.
Just trying to be funny. All right. Can I talk about Australia, Argentina?
let's look at the rest of the games. We have the other game starting. Do you guys see any surprises in any of these other fixtures? Japan, Croatia.
Japan.
I think most people will pick Croatia. Japan. Okay.
I mean, you asked for surprises. I'm talking about Japan. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're gonna keep the momentum.
Is that the only other surprise we see? Yeah.
France, Poland. Yeah. I mean, hey, Portugal, Switzerland. I know I'm talking about Messi Ronaldo final ball. Switzerland, I think they have what it takes to be Portugal. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I think if they keep playing Ronaldo up front, which I think affects their attack and affects the whole team, kind of.
Yes.
I think Switzerland has what it takes.
Okay.
So yeah, Japan and Switzerland are the expected surprises for me.
Why will overlooking Poland?
Because they're playing
I know
France.
they have not been, but I think they have like a very side in midfield and at the back. And
I disagree. That team has no quality.
Yeah, they only have one person.
I'm sorry, no disrespect to Lewandowski, right? But I mean, take him out. There's no. I just don't see it. I think they're going to suffer. Number one, they're not going to have possession. Even Lewandowski is not,
he's not
just on average. I mean, I watched their 3 games,
No,
right?
Careful now, careful.
So I'm not talking about how superb they are in terms of having individual. They are good enough to soak pressure, and if they're lucky by just one goal or something like that.
Just one thing to add to that, Benga.
Yeah, can I just add one thing? Let's just go by the last game, right? Sorry, go ahead, Charles.
I was just going to say one thing. If Benga, I would agree with you if they weren't facing France. That's all. If they were facing Morocco, facing Korea, facing Japan, I would agree with you. But they're facing France.
I actually think France is going to be a big one for them to even crunch. And I will tell you why, right? These guys played against Argentina. Remember that it could have been worse if not for Chesney. I think Chesney did a lot to prevent that scoreline from going beyond 2-0. And you need to look into that a lot. This same guy has saved 2 penalties in this tournament so far. This guy has been carried by that goalkeeper. That team is not the best that you should be thinking of creating an upset. They qualify based on goal difference. And I just wanted to call that out. So against France, I think it's just going to be a walk in the park.
Exactly. I never really agree with Biodun, but I agree this time.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'll take it.
The surprise I see in the round of 16 could Morocco. I think Morocco might surprise Spain.
I hope they do.
I hope they do, though, because I don't want Spain to go that far. Yeah.
Like a backup friend of mine said, Germany losing out is like Bayern losing out. Spain qualifying is like Barca qualifying. So, so Spain losing out is like Barca losing out, and I hope it happens. But yeah, I don't see any.
How about Senegal? How about Senegal?
That's what I was gonna say. Senegal and I mean,
England.
I'm not talking about it because of who they are facing.
With Southgate, they stand a chance. I would just say that with Southgate, Senegal stand a chance.
Exactly. I think that's my point, because that's Mr. Conservative, right? Everyone is gonna respect that side rather than put forward. I think that might backfire, against a team like Senegal.
Maybe we're just being conservative in the group stages.
I think where Senegal is going to fall short, which I'm calling it for a lot of teams, is that they don't have anyone up front that can deliver for Senegal. Their midfield is solid, their backline is solid, but up front, Ismail Assar, he delivered in the last game, he got them qualified. But that's Ismail Assar. One game, he's fantastic. He's scoring goals against Man United and City. And then he comes up against, no disrespect, Swansea or West Brom, and he's falling all over the place. He can't
let us hope that game for Ismaila is against England.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah,
let's hope so. We'll see.
I mean, Senegal look, you can see the Mane absence.
Yeah,
in the
attack.
You can see it.
It's clear.
And at the end of the day,
we've been saying it with Liverpool.
Hold on, just like Liverpool. Yeah. At the end of the day, England's defense, if set up properly, is not weak. They can take on a solid attack. Now, imagine I would take on a weak attack. So it's going to take a
no for that game. I wouldn't expect
Senegal to beat England.
Like I wouldn't expect it to be like Senegal in open play or like full play. It might end up being like penalties and favoring Senegal like out of luck, right? I think England's defense is solid. I don't see the Senegalese side putting anything past them. I'm just potentially Southgate playing very conservative. There's no hope. This and then they just lose on penalties.
Just one more thing before we wrap up. Southgate being Southgate, I think maybe it was just being conservative for group stages, but we'll see. Brazil, Korea. What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible for an upset to happen?
No chance from my perspective.
All the injuries, Brazil.
No one chance.
There are injury problems right now. I am hoping Neymar can come back. Again, I like upsets. I've enjoyed it. This is my biased prediction. I don't want an upset. I want Brazil to go through. That injury can be addressed. We can switch to a 3-5-2. I'm speaking as a Brazilian now. I hope they adopt me. So we can switch to a 3-back-2 and address the issue of the left back injuries and flood the midfield. But I think they've got the quality, they've got the squad to deal with these Koreans. Koreans have been fantastic. No disrespect. I like them.
Neymar is back and traded, by the way.
Awesome. So I think it should be a good game.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's back. So the update I saw.
No. We saw what happened yesterday. There were fantastic moments, but there was no killer instinct. There was nobody to finish that job. Right? Rodrigo did his best, but come on, he's not up to Neymar's level. There are times that I could have said, just keep carrying on, carry the ball further into the box. Either you draw a penalty or you create that final pass. But sometimes it makes his passes too fast. And sometimes to connect with all the likes of Martinelli and all that, they needed another control 1 or 2. And by the time they do that, Cameroon are settled into the game. Remember, they played a very strong physical Cameroonian team that made it more challenging. This is a Korean team that are not that tall. They are not that physical. It's going to be who is fit enough to run, who is fit enough to make that killer passes. And that will make the difference.
One quick thing, I know you want to wrap up. Just a quick final question, just something to pick your brains. I know we did our brackets. Some of us see Brazil, some people Argentina, But if you're to pick an underdog to win the World Cup, who would it be? Just go around, mention one country.
No,
I have to open my bracket again.
No, look at the list right here. You don't need your brackets.
Is England an underdog?
Okay, yeah, but this is not set up the way they need, so it's kind of.
No, don't do that. You told me Argentina is an underdog. England is an underdog. For me, I agree with Benga, Senegal. If they can get past England.
For me, it would be Morocco.
For me, it would be African countries.
For me, it will be Morocco as well.
I think Morocco has the talent on every part of their team. They have a Neziri up front. They have Ziyech with him. They have Mazraoui at left back. They have what's his name? They have a very solid team. They have stars in every area of their team. So they might be the ones.
You're tempting me to switch my pick.
The bracket is done. We're gonna hound you on Argentina.
You know, if
And you call
Argentina
them an
dares win the World
underdog.
Cup, I'm not even gonna let you guys rest.
All right,
All right,
so
guys.
final comment before we drop off. We'll see you guys at halftime, but from what I'm seeing so far, the US is dominating possession, and they had a chance early on from Pulisic that got saved by Noppert. But let's see how it goes.
Hey, maybe
It's fine. I don't care. You can have 75 possession like Germany did, and Japan 25%. But Japan still went on an A. It's about the balls being behind the line and going into the nets, and we'll see.
The whole ball.
All ball. Remember.
I think Benga was saying something.
Yeah,
maybe I might switch my listen to US then, like as an underdog that potentially could.
Why didn't I say that? I'm doing that too. Benga, I'm right behind you. US. I mean, heart versus head, like we said. Yeah, US.
Yeah.
USA.
My head still doesn't call it for them. USA. All right. See you guys at halftime.
All you fixes
See you guys.
Morocco. All right, bye.